Okay, welcome back to One Punch Man Anime Review, episode number 17. You're probably thinking, wait, you're doing an anime episode even though there's no anime right now? Well, I decided to do this because, well, what else am I going to do? I need to stop. Like, this series basically basically comes out every like a couple weeks per se, but it's mostly weekly manga. Mostly, anyways. Now, this one I'm discussing 4 chapters because I missed these chapters when coming out, so I figured, though, discuss them. I'll be discussing chapters 136 to 139 of One Punch Man. First up, it is 136, Fortitude. Yeah, one thing that a lot of these chapters basically comment is the cover image of Hellish Buzzer in the cover. Yep. Goodness, sweaty already? Well, it's about to get hotter. Yep. Chapter 136 starts off with Sunshine Darkly, along with basically Zombie Man, who is naked, along with Pew Pew Prisoner. Pew Prisoner basically is nothing unusual when go naked. Zombie Man is a bit unusual. So, Shiny Darkly basically is upset the fact that he lost to Giru. And he basically spends the whole chapter moping about it. Giru basically briefly appears in the chapter. We see some monsters attacking some people. That looks like something's taking them out. Like everything beat together. And of course, Giru basically just walks past one of the executive's kids. And because he's a monster, a human monster. And he mumbles about the whole chapter. And then we see Sweet Mask. Not believing free mad. And he kicks him. Like, just man up. It's like, you feel your own cowardice? You see him basically just raging, like his veins are showing. Like you're the one too. I mean, it's like, and remember, basically he tries to get him to come out of his mopey state. And well, then of course the Drive Knight, who just drives on by, stand up, continue forward. Stand up, super ally Darkshine, and he eventually does. And time to go fight the enemy. So then all of a sudden, Tank Top Master shows up. Yep, Tank Top Master is here. Just cuz. He decides to join the party. So, everyone basically just prepares what happens next. Yeah, it's a chapter that barely progresses forward. Yeah. But, it just kind of felt as though that this chapter would just took its time. Just characters standing around, chatting, just trying to get Dark Ally out of his funk. Now moving on to chapter 137, Resonance. Where we have Hellish Buzzer along with Silver and his brother. Looks like they're going to a fancy party. Excuse me. And then we start off with Silverbang, Hellish Buzzer, and Silverbang's brother. They're like, oh, what a coincidence. Let's join the action too. Like, a lot of the main characters are here. And of course, Hellish Buzzer's like, if you ain't playing Peg on my sister, start quickly. I'll help any can. Buzzer of Hell. I'm sure your sister's losing consciousness. Yeah, and she looks like she's standing on top of this giant pillar. And then we see, looks like that Genos has shown up to help her. Yep. It's like, Tamasuke, she's fainted. And we see a flashback of her childhood. Where basically looks like she's put in some kind of like mental hospital, whatever. A research element where basically it was like run away from some monster. And then she's freed by Ballast. Yes, Ballast. A character who has been mentioned frequently at the start of the series as a hero who has gone missing, per se. He has completely disappeared. And this is what the guy looks like. I know it's a glare, but yeah, you can kind of count this as his first full appearance. The other one was just an illusion, per se. It could be an illusion, but it's not really confirmed. He was talking to Sweet Mask. But this is the actual Blast. I'm Blast, I work as a hero. Our job is more like a hobby. Which basically makes Blast kind of similar to Saitama, which I'm like, wow, One Punch Man ripped up something from Naruto, where a character who was revered from the past is very similar to the modern day character. The only series I've ever seen like this has been Naruto, where Naruto himself, his personality is very similar to the first Hokage. I mean, I can't think of any other series that's like that. Well, the only series actually no, there is one other series like that, and that's for One Piece, where Luffy is very similar to Gold Roger. In the fact the personality is very similar, the fact these two guys don't care about money and all, they care basically just having fun. So Blast is very much like Saitama in a way. Well, Saitama's more like Blast. Excuse me. Blast basically talks to the child version of Terrible Twister, or basically she was sold off this place to someone who needs you. A cute little sister. We see young Hellish Buzzer. She's an adorable little girl. Protect your family. Listen, I'll give you a little piece of advice for later to keep in mind for someone who has too much power. When time comes, don't go expecting someone to save you. And then Hellish Buzzer telepathic communicates with her sister's like, Big sis, can you hear me? I'm gonna say, hang in there. It's like, smiles like, don't underestimate me. And of course, Genos basically is like firing his jet along with Drive Knight. He's one like, what the heck? Yeah, and of course, basically drives right through this underground freeway battling against Psychos. And then we see the abandoned railway, and basically Demon Saga basically Genos, where Genos basically teams up with him to basically do it for the next attack, and that's the end of the chapter. I appreciate though we actually got a chance to explore Hellish, but how basically Terrible Twister's basically childhood, briefly anyways, and it's great to see Blast. A character who has been mentioned, like I said, mentioned in the series, but never made a physical appearance in the series before. Well, technically, he did make an appearance a few chapters back talking to Sweet Mask, but it was just an illusion. It was just a hallucination on part of him. Yep. Now moving on to chapter 138. This cover does not have Hellish Buzz on the cover. Oh no, this one has Saitama, Flashy Flash, and the monster basically is with him. By the way, this is just a weird image of them peeking through a hole. Yeah, that's how they're first seeing the chapter. And then we see that Genos basically is taking on Psychos. She is pretty much just convulsing in agony. And of course, Tank Top Master. Yeah, this guy basically prior to this took it as a joke because it appeared as though this guy didn't have any powers. Well, then we see him pick a bunch of rocks. Yep, as expected. Of course, Genos is saved by Drive Knight. And then, of course, well, more attack. And then, pretty much, Tank Top Master does something he's never done in the series before. He picks up a building and throws it right at Psychos. Yes, a building. I'm like, yeah, I know it's been joked that a lot of the superheroes in One Punch Man are pretty much treated as jokes. Like, in all of basically Saitama. Because a lot of these characters, basically, their names are utter jokes, like Tank Top Master. Like, what is this guy's power? I mean, I think a lot of people were curious of reading the whole series. Like, what is this guy's power aside from showing up wearing a tank top? Well, apparently he's got super strength. Okay. Interesting. And of course, Genos like, victory is ours. And then we see that the other heroes basically, we see Atomic Samurai slicing through Psychos. We see Pew Pew Prisoner punch himself right through. Shiny Alloy gives basically his missile, basically a big drop kick, kicks the damn thing. And then we see Sobek basically use his moves on it. And Hellish was like, yeah, we did it. And they're like, not yet. Big sis. And then we cut to Saitama and Flashy Flash. Where, like, okay, one ditch of, like, apparently his arm got stuck, but nope, his arm is not stuck. What else is really... And of course, they touch the box, like, what is this thing? Oh? And he just tossed it aside. And we're at the monster. And then, of course, this tower comes up on the ground. I think that Terrible Twister did that. And, of course, uses it as basically a giant sword. Everyone's in awe, basically. And, of course, then we see Flash insta-kill. His sword basically is broken. Everyone's, like, watching, like, what the heck? Like, see ya, Psychos. And basically stabs the damn thing. Looked like you're about to stab it. And then, of course, come on. Oh, there we go. Anyways. And the chapter just abruptly ends with the thing hitting this monster in the fetal position. And that's where chapter ends. This is absolutely really good chapter. Still going forward here. Next chapter is Abyss with an astronaut on the cover. Yes, an astronaut with the moon, so it has the big punch mark on it from Saitama from the Alien Invasion arc. And of course, well, and then we have the other side of basically what we saw from the cover story from the cover from chapter 138, where you have Flashy Flash, Saitama, and the monster just basically looking out there as the flashlight. And then we hear a mysterious voice. 3 visits at the same time, how unusual, huh? What the heck is that? Let me see who are the vessels to blow my bout somewhere cover. Basically the box talk, and then all of a sudden a mysterious portal opens, and it's Blast. Yep, Blast. He's banged up. His suit is basically not nice and shiny like it was. His cape's torn up. Yeah, it's freaking Blast. Apparently Saitama's never heard of a hero. You gotta touch this? Who you, old man? Where'd you come from? What if he did touch it? He touched without knowing, huh? He was like a transmitter. Touching it, the sort of space and allows you to communicate with him. I'm gonna pick up these things as they're scaled over. Hobby of mine. Blast. You're Blast, aren't you? Huh? Sorry to your chat. Blast. Sometimes no idea. Blast. You're Blast? Yep, and you're S-Class Rank 13 Flashy Flash. What are you doing here below the ground? I like you to say question. Really should test him. So basically he proceeds to kick him, and he's like, calm down for a second. Yep, it's definitely him. Oh, what just happened now? Isn't it a habit of his to attack everyone he meets? It's flowing slower in space-time. It's And inside of what? Huh? There's an exit. You're after something, right? Yeah, sorta. More importantly, why is there a monster with you? He doesn't seem like you're a prisoner. So I was looking at like, oh yeah, she's our tour guide and flashlight. She's super useful. I've lined up and I'm surprised. Well, alright. I'm saying goodbye for now. I'm sure we'll meet again. Wait, Blast, what are you gonna do? Some regards to Stitch and Tabaski, aka Hellish Buzzard. And apparently it takes the time to transport them someplace. I was like, that's tornadoes work? And the rear guard. Everyone sees what's going on, and Sleepmaster's like, Arlie has to be ideal human. Mrs. Army isn't a monster. It's alright, Emperor. Even after all. And of course he basically pushes away Child Emperor, and he gets like blasted by a homeless demon, and of course Terrible Twister pierces the ground where the Psychos is, and we showed that apparently on the thing is part of Flash's sword, which is quite interesting. I love the ending of this chapter. Yeah. But the next chapter is not released yet. Nope. It'll be basically released in 3 days. Yep. Yes, this is yeah. These overall are 4 really good chapters, and I can't wait for the next chapter. It comes out in just a few days, which should be interesting. This will be the 140th chapter of the series. When did it end this arc? I don't know. I'll find out by next chapter. Okay, so that's it for Stick Review. Next review, Hiroshima Half Day Princess. I'm hoping to get time to watch that, and if there's time after that, watch Fire Force. If not, watch it tomorrow. Okay? See you in the next video. Bye.